Is it time to level up your teaching skills on camera? Maybe you are making an online course and you really want to make sure that your students have a good experience. In that case, keep on watching because I'm sharing with you my 8 hacks to become better at teaching on camera. Now, let's start with the good news. While a lot of people are afraid about being on camera, it is a skill, so it is something that you can learn and that you can actually learn quite easily. Now, after doing hundreds of videos, there are a couple of things that I noticed that really make a difference to create better videos. The first one is script your videos and your examples, but don't script your video word by word. So it is very important that you script out the points that you want to make in the videos. And I noticed that it is, for me at least, really hard to come up with good examples on the fly, which is why I like to script my points and the examples that I will use to make that point more clear. That way, I already thought about how to explain something on camera, but I'm not scripting word by word because at that point it becomes really hard to make sure that you say all the words correctly, and you'll notice that you have to do about 100 takes to get it right. And on that note, people often ask whether to use a teleprompter or not. I've done both, and honestly, I'm not using a teleprompter anymore. The reason for that is that it takes a lot of time to type out a full text word by word, and then it also takes a real skill to be able to read that teleprompter without looking completely unnatural. So I would suggest immediately getting into the habit of scripting out your points and starting to talk to the camera rather than trying to script everything out and having to use that teleprompter. Now, hack number 2 is learn to finish your sentence. This might sound super weird, but once you start listening to it, you'll notice what's happening. Most of the time, people have the tendency to speak without actually finishing their sentences. And at that point, it becomes really hard to stop talking. And so you have that feeling that you need to continue to keep on talking and talking because you never actually finish your sentence. What I mean with that is that you need to go down with your intonation at the end of a sentence. This is something that really, it made a huge difference between my first video and then when somebody told me, finish your sentence. You will feel so much better because it makes it easier to talk, it makes it easier to edit, and it becomes a habit talking like that. Hack number 3 to become better at teaching on camera is cover only one topic at the time. You might notice that often when I'm doing these type of videos, I will tell you that there are 3 things or that there are 5 things or whatever it is. And that really helps to delimit the amount of topics that you are gonna cover. And it also makes it very easy to cover one topic at the time. So when you are doing one of these teaching videos, start by deciding how many points you want to make in the video and then announce it so that you actually have to stick with it. Now, if you scripted out the points in the video, then this becomes much easier and it will avoid that you keep on rambling. Now, number 4, when you mess up, don't get frustrated. This is something that happens mostly when somebody else is in the room filming with you, but it can even happen when you're alone. So what this would look like is if you're stumbling over your words and you need to restart, that you're like, and then you restart your phrase. The problem is that this completely changes your energy and it becomes much harder to continue on the same level and to cut out that mistake in editing afterwards without it being obvious. It also might make you change positions and make that your hair doesn't look the way it should anymore. So when you mess up, just stop talking and restart. Which brings us to point number 5. Film with editing in mind. This means that when you stumble on a phrase, you don't restart halfway through that phrase because it will make it much more difficult to edit that out correctly. Just think, when was the last time that you made a full stop? Which again makes it much easier if you finish your sentences. So when was the last time that you made a full stop? Go back to that point, restart from there. And that will make it so much easier for the editor or when you are editing your videos to make those very clean cuts. Number 6 is a little trick to be more natural on camera. And the idea is that you have to look through the camera. So stay with me here. So it makes a huge difference when you look at the camera, at the lens, versus when you imagine that you're looking through the camera. The difference is that little glaze in your eyes that makes it feel like somebody isn't really connected with you. So make sure that while you're filming, imagine that somebody is standing right behind that lens and that you are looking at that person. Now, in the beginning, I thought that it would be easier when I had someone actually there so that it would feel more natural when you're filming. But then I noticed that for me, I have tendency to look at that person to see what they are thinking. And it actually makes it harder to stay concentrated on looking into the camera. So just imagine that there is somebody standing right behind that lens and that you're looking at them. Now, number 7 is amp up that energy. Yes, it is weird when you're sitting alone in front of a camera to be talking as if you are super happy and super excited. But honestly, the moment that you feel like you're overdoing it, it will just sound and look fairly natural on camera. If you use your normal energy, it will look as if you are tired and it can become really boring to look at one of those videos. So just amp it up to 11. Do whatever you need to do beforehand to make sure that you have that energy. Drink that coffee, do that little dance, do a little song, and make sure that you can bring that to your videos. And then finally, obviously, the more you do this, the easier it will become and the better you will become at it. So that is why I want to challenge you. Can you do a 30-day challenge where each day you are explaining something on camera? Now, the very important thing for these type of challenges to work and for you to actually improve is that you explain something on camera and then you look at it and you decide what you will do better next time around. So not redoing that same video, but how can you improve your next video in the series? You will notice that after 30 days, you will already have improved your skills so much just by doing this one practice. What do you think? Are you ready to create that online course? In that case, we have a free course for you that will teach you how you can start selling your online courses from your WordPress website. And if you are an online entrepreneur or an aspiring online teacher, then hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so that you are notified when we publish new videos.